Welcome to the Millionaire Race podcast, where we empower you to maximize your potential in order to better your financial standing. Why? So that collectively we can solve most of the socio-economic problems that face the African American demographic today. My name is Toxia Gunyemi, your host, and as always, happy to have you on the show with us today. We have a lot to cover today, but before we get started, just a note to please like or subscribe to the show so that you can get alerts when new episodes come out, and of course, so that we can broaden our reach and get our message across to a lot more people. Of course, to reach us, you can do so by sending me an email at toxy@themillrace.com. That's Toxy, TOKSY, at themillrace, THEMILRACE.com. Drop us a line and we'll be happy to get back to you as soon as we can. As you've heard me say many times before, we African Americans make up 12% of the U.S. population, but only control about 2% of the nation's wealth. That's very low. That simple fact explains many of the socio-economic problems that face the African American community. Our goal is to change that. To put it plainly, we need more money. And we get that by learning how to make money, keep the money that we make, invest the money to grow it, and most importantly, to teach each other how to do these things. If we do that, there will be significant changes, significant improvements in the plight of the African American today. And how do we do this? Well, my goal, my vision, is for each and every African American household to attain a net worth of at least $1 million or more. I know that sounds like an unattainable number, but believe you me, it is. Not only is it attainable, there are many families, probably not African American families, but there are many families of other races who are achieving that on a regular and consistent basis. What we have to understand is that we live in a financial system. And as long as we understand this system and use the system as it was designed, we will also be able to benefit from everything the system offers. We live in a completely different era today. What I'm saying now may not have been possible 20, 30, 40 years ago, but today, due to the work of many other amazing African Americans who have gone before us, they have paved the way for us to have access to many things that they didn't have access to. It would be a shame for us not to take advantage of what they have provided for us. Making and growing our finances is not the only way to take advantage of the wonderful things they've done, but that's my portion. That's my part. That's what I'm trying to help with. And hopefully there are many other people out there working on other aspects of our growth and transformation as well. For this podcast, however, we are focused on growing your wealth. We know that you can do it. We know that there are many voices out there explaining different ways on how they think you can do it. Some right, some wrong. But I know I have a successful plan that will help you achieve and surpass the millionaire race. In developing this plan, we came up with the 531 method for financial success. This is geared towards African Americans predominantly, but money is universal, and this applies to anyone. But I'm particularly focused on the African American community because that's the community that is least served. That's the community that doesn't trust as much. That's the community that utilizes the vehicles the least. And so we're working to change that. The 531 method for financial success, if followed, will absolutely help you get your finances on track, help you grow them, and help you, as we say, run and win the millionaire race. This method is broken down into 5 foundational items, 5 foundational things that you need to do right away. So if you haven't heard them, please listen to the previous 5 episodes where we described each of those foundational items that you need to help get your finances on track. Those 5 episodes were introductions into each of those topics. And once we finish these other few episodes explaining the entire 531 method, we'll dive in depth into each of those topics and delve further into explaining how to achieve those different things. But the 5 foundational items are the first things that you should be doing to sort out your finances and get yourself on track. After that, you have the 3, what I term as growth items. Again, in the example that we've used, if the 5 foundational items are like the foundation of a house, the 3 growth items are like the walls of the house. This is where we want to live. This is where we want to grow and get things done. And then, of course, you have the 1 in the 531 method, which is like the roof. This is the overarching thing that covers everything else and makes it work. So I'm really excited that we've finished those 5 foundational items, and now we can move into the growth items. So today we're starting off with the first of the 3 growth items in the 531 method for financial success. So now that you've listened to the 5 foundational items, you've started working them in your plan, we can now start with the growth items. And the first of those growth items asks the question, what do you do with money when it comes in? Well, you do what I call the 3 money tiers, coined out of the 3 musketeers. What do you do with your money now when it comes in? You do 3 things. And if you listen to most money experts, they all say the same thing as well. You spend it, you save it, and you give it. A healthy relationship with money includes all 3 things that I just mentioned. You spend it, you save it, and you give it. You must be doing all 3 things with your money in order to successfully run and win the millionaire race. Now, I'm sure some of you are asking yourself the question, well, how do I do all these things, these 3 things, when I don't even have enough money to begin with? Well, let's go over each of these items and we'll see how exactly this is going to work. When we get money, the first thing we think of doing with it is how or what are we going to spend it on? That's understandable. Most of us don't have access to unlimited funds, and so how we spend the money we get is crucial to our success. If you've been following along on our foundational items, you already know that you should be creating a budget for your spending every month. You should know how much you need to cover all your needs for the month ahead, and compared to how much income you'll be bringing in, you'll need to cut down those expenses to where they are less than the money you'll be receiving. The lower your expenses are, the better. As your income increases, you can raise your expenses as well. We need to make sure that our income is always more than our expenses. If it isn't, then you need to get a better job. Don't wait for a raise at your current job. Start the process of moving to another job that pays you better. It might require you learning something new or even shifting careers, but don't ever let anyone tell you that you can't do better than where you are right now. A quick note on that though, don't quit your current job until your new job is completely secured. Okay, that's very important. So I'll repeat it again. Don't quit your current job until your new job is completely established and in place. So your budget tells you how you're going to spend your money. You are in control of creating that budget. And then once the budget is created, then you follow it. And if you do that, you will spend your money just as you planned. Now, of course, there are unforeseen circumstances, but that's why your budget also has things for emergencies in there. And we'll dive into a detailed budget in another episode. But your budget helps you with directing how you spend your funds. Your budget also lets you apportion how much to save and invest, which is the second thing that you do with money. Saving and investing is crucial to your financial success, and you must be doing both of these continuously. The budget helps you with how much to save and invest because it's a category that's put in to ensure that you're doing this every month. Now remember, this is after the foundational items have been taken care of. So yes, you probably won't be able to start investing right away. But again, we're taking this in steps. And after the 5 foundational items have been done and we move into the growth items, this is where we'll be doing that, saving and investing. There are 2 types of savings that we talk about here. The first is your emergency fund. And this is where you keep about 3 months of your pay in an account never to be touched except in the case of an emergency. Why 3 months? Well, if something were to happen to your job, if you lost it, you would have 3 months to find another one, all during which you and your family would be financially okay. If you're able, you can increase it to 6 months, but before then, we'll want to make sure we're investing as well. I love the topic of investing. It's truly a guaranteed way you and I can attain and surpass a net worth of $1 million and more. A surefire vehicle of success that unfortunately the African American community does not share enough of. This is not because we are restricted from it. It's mainly because we don't understand it, and probably because a lot of people don't trust it. But that lack of trust is based, unfortunately, on a lack of understanding of how the system works. Many of our Caucasian counterparts have been taught these things from a very early age by their parents and relatives. Most of us don't have that luxury. And so we grow up not understanding that system, a system whose success heavily depends also on time spent in it. We waste a lot of time not investing. And by the time a lot of us start investing, it's never too late, but we've lost valuable resources in the time that has gone by. We're going to have a short series on investing, so stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, I'd like to remind you that investing in the stock market is a tool that is available to all of us. And not only in the stock market, there are many other investment vehicles, but we're going to try to keep this really simple. And so that's why we'll be talking a lot about the stock market in the future. The average return or interest made if you invested your funds in the market over the last 50 years is just over 11.5% per year. Do you recognize the significance of the number I just gave you? It means that if you invested just $100 every month for the last, let's say, 40 years, just $100, you would have today over $1 million in your account. Sounds crazy, right? Yes, that's based on compounding interest. We've talked a little bit about that, but we will, like I said, dive much deeper into that in a future episode where we talk about investing. But compounding interest, where monthly interest is accruing on your account on the growth, that 11.5% that I mentioned, your funds would grow to over $1 million in 40 years. If you extended that to the full 50 years, the money would have grown to over $3 million. Sounds crazy, right? But it isn't. It's the way the system works if we use it correctly. I'm a numbers guy. I love running these numbers and these different scenarios, and you don't want to get me started. But you know what? What I'll do is we'll probably have a show where I just run different numbers and scenarios for you and give you examples. And you'll see how amazing it is if we are consistent and we allow time to help, because compounding interest really, the power of it is time. And if we let it work, you'll be amazed at how much money and wealth you can hold for yourself and for your family. But for today, I just need you to see the importance of saving and investing your money. If you just spend everything you earn, you will completely miss out on the power to build wealth that is in your hands. Now, some folks may say, hey, I don't see myself having the funds to be able to invest, even if it's just $100 every month. And I beg to differ. I'll give you an example. I was on a flight to Philadelphia just the other week. And as we were waiting to board the flight, two African-American ladies struck up a conversation, which led to one of them asking if the other had just also attended the Beyonce concert from the night before, to which she exclaimed, yes. And the two of them started recounting how amazing the show was with loud squeals of delight. This attracted the attention of several other ladies who had also flown in to attend this concert. All of a sudden, we had a group of people talking excitedly about this show, and it led into the conversations of the hotels they stayed in, how grateful they were that they flew instead of driving all the way down from Philadelphia to Atlanta for this concert, I mean, it got so loud you would have thought the show had been brought into the airport. But anyway, I bring this up because obviously to attend this show, they had to buy the concert tickets, they had to buy plane tickets, they had to pay for hotel rooms, pay for transportation while in Atlanta, they had to feed themselves, all this at a minimum. I mean, that would have all cost a tidy sum. So don't worry, I'm not a member of the Have No Fun Club. But I bring this up to let you know that if it's important enough to us, as this concert was important enough to them for them to save up and come to it, if it's important enough to us, our future, we can surely dedicate some funds for saving and investing to make our future an amazingly bright one. The third item in the money tiers of what you do with money is giving it. It sounds counterintuitive to think of trying to save money, invest money, and at the same time giving money away. Now, I believe in tithing. I have for many years. I do it because the Bible tells me to do it, and the explanation the Bible gives as to why to do it checks out 100%. When you give, it lets the Lord know, but lets you know what you put your trust in, who you put your trust in. And it's been amazing for me. However, in my many years of reading business books, financial books by many different authors, many of whom were not Christians, were not following biblical principles, every single one of them had a section on giving. There is a universal understanding that when you give, it does not only things for those around you and those you give to help, but it does things for you as well. It is our responsibility to help those around us as we grow. But we have to recognize that giving helps us grow. The founding pastor of the church I go to, Pastor Dennis Rouse, always said over many years that money is a currency, right? A currency flows. That's how money is supposed to be. It's supposed to flow. And if it can flow through you, God will get it to you. But if it doesn't flow through you, then it's not coming to you. So that's the opposite of that statement, I guess, right? So it's important that money is able to, when you get money, you spend it on the things that you need. You save and you invest for yourself, but you must also give some of it away. We are on a journey of renewing and transforming the way we think about money. And some things, just like this topic of giving, may not make sense to some. But sometimes you need to just trust and do it, and then you'll see the results for yourself. Giving is an essential part of your financial growth and success. So today, we've embarked on the first of the 3 growth items in the 531 method for financial success. And that is the 3 things you do with money, the 3 money tiers. You spend it, you save and invest it, and you give it. As you do this, you will see your net worth grow, you will see your assets increase, and you will walk much closer towards attaining and surpassing the millionaire race. My name is Toxio Gunyemi. God bless you, and I'll see you next time.